Hey guys, happy GA Flashback Friday, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. I am so ready for the weekend. This weekend is an exciting one. This is Eden's birthday weekend, which in our house, birthdays are treated like national holidays and they usually last at least a couple of days. Her birthday is tomorrow. She's going to be 9. God help me. I am treading on the waters of preteenhood and it terrifies me. She is 9 going on 15. We are getting interested in boys. We are interested in big girl stuff. Like, I just want that little bitty kid who, like, lays on the couch and watches cartoons and, you know, wants to play with, like, baby dolls, and that's not her anymore. And I'm dealing with that, and I'm grieving that. It's sad. And so we're gearing up for birthday weekend for her 9th birthday. And then yesterday I cleaned their rooms and I mom cleaned them. So anybody who's a mom knows what mom cleaning means. That means that you go in and you get rid of all of the crap that they normally won't let go of. All the broken toys, broken crayons, any trash, all their laundry, everything that they swear they take care of every day, you go in and actually take care of. Oh dear Lord, there were no words. I always think that I'm going to get shocked. Or I'm no longer going to be shocked by what I find, and it happens every time. I'm just like, seriously? Why do you do this? Like, I just leave shaking my head, and I leave with bags upon bags of crap. And then I just once again realize that they have way too much shit. Like, it's way too much. So I wasn't really sure I was going to do this video today because I didn't know if I was going to make it out of those rooms alive. But I did. And now I'm gearing up for a whole new thing that I'm really excited for, which is Eden's birthday weekend. So we're going to do some fun stuff this weekend with her, and I'm really excited about that. But we're not here to talk about all that. We're not here to talk about the room catastrophe or Eden's birthday weekend, even though it's like an epic experience. We are here for GA Flashback Friday, where we recap one of our past episodes of Ghost Adventures, and today we are catching up with the Ancient Ram Inn. This episode, though, wow. This episode is going to be, this recap's going to be a little different because there was just a lot that goes on in an hour. So first of all, as always, just a little bit of history. The Ancient Ram Inn is located in Wootton Edge, or Wootton Under Edge in England, and it is old as crap. The building is 1,000 years old, or at least over 1,000 years old. It's built on ancient pagan burial grounds. It is also built on ley lines, which we've talked about ley lines a little bit before, but they are lines of energy within the ground that are believed to be hotspots of paranormal activity. And in this particular case, the ley lines that lay under the Ancient Ram Inn start at dun 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 Stonehenge, which we all know is like a supernatural unknown. How the crap did they get there? And have you ever wondered that? Like, on a little side note, since this video in general is going to be different and Lockdown Breakdown is going to be a little bit different, I'm just going to go off on a sidetrack a little bit. What the crap is with Stonehenge? Like, have you ever noticed, like, ever wondered that? I think we all have. Like, I mean, I'm sorry. Rocks should not sit like this. I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. Like, they would just fall over. Like, one big rainstorm and woof. But no, it's like they are super glued freaking together. And none of it makes sense. And it's just one of those, like, weird, crazy things. Like, I've always wanted, Stonehenge is on my bucket list. I will see Stonehenge before I die. It will happen. But it is unbelievable to me. I've always been absolutely infatuated with all things Stonehenge related. And the fact that these ley lines start at Stonehenge and go through the Ancient Ram Inn, well, like Zach said, are they connected? Hells to the yes. So, sidetrack, side note over. So, we are introduced to the owner of the Ancient Ram Inn, who is Mr. John Humphreys, and he is a trip. He is this probably 80-year-old man who is just absolutely obsessed with his home, knows exactly the dangers in living there, and yet is just completely head over heels, like in love with this place. He's like, there are too many spirits in here to count. There is too much evil activity in here to even think about. It was to the point where his wife and his kids done left his ass living there, and he's like, I'm staying. And they were out. Like, they'd had enough of the activity. They were gone. Some of the more evil, I guess, presence in the house, there is an incubus and a succubus, which we kind of talked about those the other day, but they are male and female demonic spirits who kind of like to get down and dirty. They thrive off of sexual attraction, and they kind of get all up in your cookies and mess with you sexually, and then use your bodily fluids to live, I guess. It's weird. It's a weird concept. It's creepy. And on that note, before lockdown, the guys participated in a ritual with a witch named Lady Snake, who was not even dumb enough to actually do the ritual herself. That shows you how smart the guys are. Who opens like this doorway, and then they go, and she says that she has told whoever or whatever that she was offering them a gift, and the gift was Zach, or one of them. And so Zach kind of starts acting weird, and he gets kind of defensive about why the guys don't want to participate, and he had like a dagger in his hand, and Lady Snake's, like, you know what, I'm going to take that from you. You're not acting like yourself. So he lays down and in this ritual and starts to feel like a tingling between his legs, and she's like, oh yeah, that's her. She's in you. Or she's in you. And she's like, she's in what? She's in you, dude. Congratulations. You're feeling, the incubus. Or the succubus, I guess. The female spirit. And she's just like, and the look on Zach's face is just crazy. And he's like, whoa, dude, you look weird. Like, he was looking weird. He looked weird at Aaron. He swore that Aaron looked weird. I don't think Zach was himself. It was really creepy. It's just a prime example that you do not mess with, like, rituals and voodoo and all that weird crap. You just don't mess with it. Like, it's not a good thing. And she's like, you will experience things for the next couple of days for sure. And I don't think Zach took that seriously. But, as we'll get to at the end of this recap, he was wrong. Now, as for lockdown, like I said, lockdown was chaos. I can't really even break down lockdown because it was absolute madness. There was just a lot of activity. The activity was sporadic. It was everywhere. It wasn't like centered to one area of the house. They start kind of in the main area, and they are kind of talking to each other, laying everything out, and they end up hearing upstairs noises that draw them upstairs, so they go upstairs, and then they don't hear anything anymore, and then they end up hearing a door slam downstairs, then there's footsteps upstairs, and then they get an EMF spike of a 4.5, which from a 0.0 to a 4.5 and a temperature fluctuation of about 6 degrees in about 2 seconds is pretty damn epic, along with the other activity that they're already getting. And then they get a disembodied voice to even back up everything even further that says, I don't like you. And then they decide to kind of split up. Actually, before they split up, they go to the bishop's room, and where like 10 exorcisms took place. So it's not the place that I want to be. And they get another like class A EVP that says hate you. Then they all split up. Nick and Zach kind of go down into the main room, and Nick and Zach go into the main room. Aaron goes into the barn, and they lock Aaron in the barn. Now, in the barn, there have been bodies of children that had believed to have been sacrificed found there. And someone had apparently been thrown in the barn. So, of course, they lock poor Aaron in the barn. And I'm serious, they lock him in the barn. Like, they wedge a piece of wood against the door and lock him in the barn. And he gets a lot of EVPs. This episode was EVP crazy. Like, they got a lot of disembodied voices. They got a lot of things picked up on their digital recorder, and they were good class A EVPs. They were phenomenal. Aaron gets some really good ones. Where Are You, Don't Tempt Me, and I'm Special. They hear growls, they hear disembodied voices, they hear footsteps, they hear like all of this massive amounts of activity, and the best one being from Nick. Zach had went upstairs to check out a noise that they had heard from downstairs. He left Nick in like the main area, like the main room of the inn, by himself, and you could hear Nick talking on the recorder, like all over it, but over all of Nick's voices was this flurry of activity. Like you heard breathing, like heavy, like breathing. You heard growls, disembodied female voices, like knocking, all happening at once, almost like people were, like something was moving around, or a group of people were moving around. And Nick was hearing a little bit of this, but they didn't even realize like all that they were hearing. It was just a massive amount of activity. This haunt, this building, is no joke. It is, like I said, I couldn't even break down lockdown into rooms or areas or whatever like I do, because they were kind of just all over the place. They really didn't stay in one area very long. You never really knew where they were at. It's just an old cottage in general, so it's kind of all jumbled together. Everything kind of looks the same. And because of that, the activity was really hard to pinpoint. They were just kind of all over the place. But I wanted to pick out some of the cool evidence that they did get. Aaron probably captured one of the best pieces, which was on his camera. He was sitting, kind of filming the hallway toward the bishop's room and seeing a dark shadow figure kind of flash across the screen. And it was really fast. And if you've never really looked for paranormal evidence or ever seen anything like it before, it's kind of hard to catch, but because it moves, it almost looks like the camera's blinking. But it was a really cool shadow figure, and they wondered if that was maybe like the incubus, kind of leaving that dark area of the inn. And so, like I said, lockdown was just kind of chaos. This place is no joke. This man is not crazy. He has a very haunted location on his hands, and I think it's very sinister and very evil. Now, going back before I end Flashback Friday, going back to what Lady Snake had told Zach about how in the next couple of days he would really feel the effects of that ritual. And I don't think he really believed her. I think he thought that, he may get some stuff during lockdown and then it's kind of going to go away. Well, at the end of the episode, the guys are all sitting in chairs, all talking, and Zach was saying how the night after lockdown, he was at his hotel and he had a horrible dream of this lady with long dark hair and fingers with real long nails kind of going like this at his face, and almost like it was hurting him. Like he couldn't really feel her nails like on her face, but he could feel like the energy. And he woke up, his heart was racing, he was sweating. And then the day after that, Aaron noticed that Zach had 3 claw marks on his neck. And he knew at that moment that whatever they had messed with at the inn had followed him home and followed him back. And it's so crazy to me. Like, I can't wrap my head around that. I've never had that happen, and I can't imagine what it would be like, and I don't know if I really want to know. Like, I think that there's so many ill effects to messing with that kind of stuff that it's not really worth the chance. But that, at the end of the day, that's Zach. And Zach is down for doing whatever for the sake of evidence and research. We've talked about that before. So that's all I have for GA Flashback Friday. Like I said, I know the episode was kind of all over the place and this video is kind of all over the place, but they kind of go hand in hand because it was just a chaotic, exhaustive, draining episode. Like, Mr. Humphries is a freaking trip, and he has got a very haunted location on his hands, and it was a very good episode, but it wore me the F out. So I am going to go get ready for Eden's birthday weekend. I will see you guys on Tuesday for GAQA Tuesday, where I answer all of your Ghost Adventures related questions that you guys ask me all up on the Facebook page. Until then, stay happy, stay healthy, have a wonderful weekend. Much love and happiness